blind, but something's in me right between the eyes. A sweeping sensitivity. Hey, Brian Miller here, and welcome to Audio for Content Creators, where we help you sound better and level up for all your content creation needs. And this is a test of the brand new Movo VSM-7 large diaphragm condenser pro grade XLR microphone, multi-pattern, cardioid, omni, bidirectional. This is their professional podcaster's microphone, but it's really a budget professional mic for content creators in general. And in particular, it's got a lot of attractive qualities for musicians, including the built-in pop filter if you're going to be singing up close to it. That can be, of course, swiveled up, and then you could be singing in and getting really close like this, and that would be a wonderful thing for you. But it's got the multi-pattern, it's got this shock mount. It's really a wonderful piece of kit, especially at the $125 price point. This is a mic that I said in my initial review, my overview, which is somewhere up here, that I would have expected, based on the tone, based on the sound alone, to be $250, maybe even $300. Depending on the day. I'm going to do a test right now for using this mic as a singer-songwriter, as a one microphone complete system. So I am recording directly into my Zoom H5 portable audio recorder. I'm using the XLR cable that actually came with the microphone. So everything you're hearing right now is what it would sound like recording with this. So we're using a consumer or prosumer grade audio recorder. We're not using my high-end Tascam stuff sitting on my desk. The Zoom H5 is great, but it's a consumer level product, prosumer level product maybe. It's going straight in with a budget, XLR cable that came free with the microphone. It's on a $15 cheap microphone stand. There's nothing fancy going on here. And to avoid copyright strikes or having to hand all my monetization off to somebody else, I'm going to be performing one of my own songs, which is called Beginnings. It's a song I co-wrote with one of my best friends back in college, all the way back in college. He wrote the lyrics, I wrote the music, and I ended up putting a version of this on one of my albums with Escher's Enigma, which is my musical project. We put this on For a Moment on that album. So all the links to that stuff in the description should you be interested. But we're now going to just do a straightforward singer-songwriter, all captured with one microphone, guitar, vocals, one mic performance. There will be no post-processing whatsoever on this during the performance. After the performance is completely over, then I'll show you doing some post-processing, adding reverb, compression, EQ, things like that, so you can see how this microphone accepts post-processing. But for the purpose of right now, here's the entire performance. If you don't want to listen to my entire performance, that's fine. Listen to a little bit, get the gist of it, skip ahead using the timestamps or the chapter links in the description. Here we go. All our time is waiting desperately, and I just can't seem to fall asleep on my own. Maybe I'm not alone. Meeting unexpectedly on a winter's night, you sat by me, seen a spark no pile of snow could douse. Maybe I am foolish, or maybe I'm just blind, but something's hit me right between the eyes. A sweeping sensitivity, no words can tell, and my eyes meet your blue eyes, I guess it's just as well. No longer waiting for one more minute to pass, hoping that forever this moment as I gazed into your bright blue eyes, and the boldness of the light collides with your smile. And no, I'm not alone to think a simple push into a mound of snowfall, me and you, otherwise, otherwise. Maybe I am foolish, or maybe I'm just blind, but something's hit me right between the eyes. With sweeping sensitivity, no words can tell. My eyes meet your blue eyes, I guess it's just as well. No longer waiting for one more minute to pass, just hoping that forever this moment can last. Maybe I am foolish, or maybe I'm just blind, but something's hit me right between the eyes. A sweeping sensitivity, no words can tell. My eyes meet your blue eyes, I guess it's just as well. No longer waiting for one more minute to pass, hoping that forever this moment. Wow, I haven't done that in a long, long time. As you can see, that was no cuts, no edits, no post-processing all the way through. Say what you want about the performance. Maybe you don't like my voice or my playing or my guitar or whatever. Totally fine. No, you don't need to tell me that you don't like my voice if you don't like my voice. The point of this, of course, is to test out the microphone. How does this microphone sound capturing a single performance all on its own? Now, I am sitting in a ordinarily, this is a really, really well-treated, professionally treated home studio, but that is not the environment most people would be in. And so I've actually deliberately done a couple of things to make my room sound less treated for the purpose of this video. I don't have my freestanding panels that I would normally bring up and tight just out of frame here. I don't have those up here. They're way back on the other side of the room. So I do have a bare ceiling directly above. There's no panel above, and there's nothing sitting right here to block any additional reflections like I normally would do when I'm trying to perfectly capture something. I've actually left the curtains of my closet open. They're thick, heavy floor-to-ceiling curtains that I use for the closet instead of doors to add additional absorption in this room. I've left them open so that there's more bounce going on, and the thick, heavy, sound-absorbing curtains for this window over here I've also left open. So there's a window there. So there's some bounce coming from over there. I didn't move instruments that might have extra resonances out of the way, things like that. So what you just heard is, this is a treated room, but it's, in the way that I've got it set up right now, it's kind of like if you were recording in a, carpeted bedroom where you got a big mattress and you got carpet and you got a closet with clothes and, that was naturally sucking up a lot of reflections. So you can tell me, how do you think that sounded? Of course, I wasn't monitoring it as I was playing it. Yeah, so why don't I play for you now what that performance, a little clip from that performance with full processing. So, EQ, compression, and some pleasing reverb. Let's listen to that now. Maybe I am foolish, or maybe I'm just blind, but something's hit me right between the eyes. A sweeping sensitivity, my eyes meet your blue eyes, I guess it's just as well. No longer waiting for one more minute to pass, just hoping that forever this moment can last. And now that you've had a chance to hear it with some processing on it, you can tell me, do you like the sound of this microphone in the dry version for capturing a singer-songwriter performance? Do you think it takes processing well in terms of music for EQ, compression, reverb? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And anything you'd like me to demonstrate with this microphone, let me know as well. Would you like me to show a multi-track performance where I do a close mic on the acoustic guitar, a close mic vocals, maybe maybe mic up the one of my guitar cabinets and do a solo for like some electric guitar? You know, do you want to hear me do a multi-track like that, like a real produced track using only this mic? I can do that if I get enough interest below. I think I'm going to stop right now, listen to the recording, and then come back, sit down, and give you some thoughts of my own opinion on how it sounded, because right now I can't do that. So I'll be back in just a second. Whoosh. Transition something. So I just had a chance to listen to the actual recording that we just did, and apart from my voice clearly not being warmed up, that was the first time I've sung all day, first time I've sung in all weekend, I guess. Thanks for bearing with that. But apart from that, I thought it did a serviceable job. It wasn't exciting. There was nothing terribly amazing about it, which, you know, again, for $120, $125, it's to be expected. It captured my voice, it captured the guitar. Neither sounded really exciting or really special. We're using a consumer level recorder, so we're not going into nice preamps or anything. You know, this is a pretty streamlined, pretty bare bones, and I think it did a good enough job that you'd be very, very happy with it, especially for the price point. Once you add the processing, you know, EQ and compression and reverb, you can really spice it up. I think it I don't want to say it sounded dull. It just kind of sounded neutral, which I don't necessarily mean as a bad thing or a criticism. It kind of sounded like a blank slate. It didn't have any character of its own. But that means you get to, when you get a really neutral sound, you get to add character in post as you want to. I do think that if you were going to sing with this microphone and you're going to bring it up closer to you. But something's hit me right between the eyes. A sweeping sensitivity, no words can tell. I think this microphone has a lot of character when you're using it up close. I think within 6 or 8 inches, you're really getting something much higher than the price point. But, you know, as soon as you've got a microphone this far away from you, then, you know, you're working in a very different situation. And when you're going to have a microphone this far away from you, you're going to need a much, much nicer microphone. You're going to need a microphone in the, you know, $400 or $500 range and up, and you're probably going to need to be running into nice preamps and, you know, things like that to really get an amazing sound from this far away, especially if you have to be even further and then do what I was doing, which is, you know, kind of capture, I was probably about here, right? Try to capture a full performance. And you wouldn't normally use one mic on a full performance. This was just kind of an example of what if you just wanted to buy one mic that was versatile that you could use for lots of different things. I think you'd be in great shape with the VSM-7 for music. Having said that, thanks so much for sticking with me. I hope this video helped you. If it did, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Come back anytime to sound better and level up, and we'll see you soon.